Just a quick disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, before we get started. I do not upload a video every Monday and Thursday. I do not upload a video every week or every month. I upload a video when I have something which I would like to share. So right now, it's the time for me to share something.
This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
For launch in 3, 2.
Good day guys, today I'm going to be taking you guys through EPLAN shortcuts. As we all know, each software, each program has shortcuts. Well, I hope most of them do have shortcuts. Shortcuts do help us do better work and do help us be faster in whatever design or whatever work that we're trying to accomplish. EPLAN standard installation comes with standard shortcuts as well. But of course, these shortcuts can be changed to suit you and to help you do effective work and to help you better your designs and deliver your results in a much shorter time. Shortcuts can also be individually deleted. The shortcuts can also be restored to default settings. Say for example, maybe you have changed your shortcuts so much that you're not even sure what you actually did in the previous days, which shortcut you assigned to what keyboard keys. You can actually restore them to the default settings, the standard installation settings, that EPLAN comes with. Almost if all not commands or functions on EPLAN can be assigned as shortcuts. What I mean about commands and functions, I mean like all these commands that you see on top here, they can be assigned shortcuts. Some of them do already have shortcuts. If you just hover your cursor over it, you can see this one, the cut is assigned a shortcut that's Ctrl+X, and copy, as we all know from Windows, it's Ctrl+C. And delete is the key delete. So you can also assign shortcuts to anything that you desire. You can assign shortcuts to your angle down left or your angle down right. You can assign shortcuts to your rotate on your edit tab, your flip, your scale. You can assign shortcuts to different functions. So what happens is that with each EPLAN version you have, like if for example I have EPLAN Electric P8 2022, it has to have its own shortcuts. Also with EPLAN 2.9 will have its own shortcuts. With Pro Panel, EPLAN Pro Panel will also have its shortcuts. Whether you have 2022 or 2023, you will have different shortcuts for different versions that you have on your laptop. I'm not sure yet if you can import and export shortcuts. I haven't tried that out. Maybe it can be a good assistant to import shortcuts from your EPLAN 2022 to 2023, or from your 2.9 to your 2023 and 2024 and so on. It would be a good idea if you can import them, But if you don't, you can't import them, you can also individually assign them. So some of these shortcuts, just a thing to note, some of these shortcuts require to be a combination, or require to work in combination with Control and Alt keys. So you have to, like for example, it cannot just be the key C, it has to be Control+C, or it cannot just be the key V on your keyboard, but it has to be Control+V. So in order to assign shortcuts to your EPLAN, you can actually just go to this drop down to customize access toolbar, the customize quick access toolbar. Then once you click on it, you can say further commands. And once your customization window has opened, you can go to ribbon, which is mostly these commands that are located on your ribbon. You can go to ribbon, and once you're there, you can click on this button that's written customize, which will be customizing your shortcut keys. So once you have clicked on customize shortcut keys, you can see the different tabs that you have. Because you're in ribbon, you can see the shortcut keys, the tabs of ribbon. This basically means your home, insect, edit, view, device, connections, and so on. So if you wanna assign shortcuts to the commands under the tab home, you can actually see all the commands underneath the tab home. If not all of them, most of them, you can see them here. And if you want to go to insect, you can see the commands under insect, under edit, and so on. So if you're not sure where does the command actually fall under, does it, like for example, if you're not sure if the align to grid actually falls under edit or does it fall under insect and it's difficult to find it, you can actually go to your all commands, and under your all commands you can actually see all the commands, or well, most of the commands that are under your ribbon. So under your top ribbon there on your EPLAN, so you can actually scroll through them. It will show the whole list of all these commands. You can actually scroll through them, and as you're scrolling through them you can actually see which one you want to assign. So some of them are already assigned. As I mentioned earlier on, EPLAN standard installation comes with standard shortcuts, so some of them already have something assigned to it. For example, maybe I'm just gonna go through, maybe I can go to one of them and show you an example. For example, a circle, it's assigned a K, so you can either remove that or assign a new shortcut to it and maybe delete that one, or have two shortcuts to complete the command, So these different ones that are already assigned, some of them, for example, the connection point topology is not assigned a shortcut yet, so you can assign a shortcut to it. So for what I'm gonna just demonstrate is some of the shortcuts that I want to assign at the moment. I know it's I'm gonna do an example for the grid and the scale, flip, and copy format, and assign format. So for your scale, I know they fall under edit because you're editing a graphic, you're editing something, so you editing it to be bigger, or you flipping it, you're flipping something, so you're editing its properties by flipping it. What I want to do is also have copy format and assign format, assign a shortcut to these commands, the assign format and the copy format. So in order to assign a new shortcut, you'll just click on the assign format, and once the assign format is active there as a description, then you can just click whatever shortcut that you like. For my EPLAN, and this is what I also do for AutoCAD as well, I commonly assign the same shortcuts, so that when I work on AutoCAD I can also use the same shortcuts. When I work on EPLAN I can also use the shortcuts. Not to say when I'm working on AutoCAD copy is Control I, then when I work on EPLAN copy is Control C, so I always try to assign the same shortcuts, maybe make all of them Control C for copy and make all of them Control V for paste, so it helps me, because sometimes I find myself working 1 week on EPLAN, then working a month on AutoCAD, so you want to use the same shortcuts and not get confused between the two programs shortcuts. So to assign the shortcuts for assign format, I'll basically click on Control. So you have to click as like you click a shortcut, you don't click Control then leave the key. You have to click Control Shift V. So that's assign format. Then once you have done that, you need to assign it, and once you have assigned it there, immediately by clicking assign, you now instructing EPLAN to assign the shortcut. So once you have clicked assign, it's fully operational. As soon as you click assign, it's fully operational. The shortcut is available, so just to show you that it's fully available. By that, after you have assigned it, you can just close here, click OK, and then you go under edit, and I have to click on a component. For example, I'll just click on something. then you can see copy format. I haven't assigned copy format, but I've assigned assign format, so it was Control Shift V. So for copy format, I want to do a shortcut for it as well. There is currently no shortcut for it. I want to create a shortcut, so I do the same process. Go to my customize quick access toolbar, then I go to further commands, and once I'm in further commands, I go to ribbon, and once I'm in ribbon, I go to customize shortcuts. Then I'll have to go to edit because it falls underneath the edit tab. I'll have to go to edit, and then once I'm in edit, I have to scroll down and find where is copy format, and it goes alphabetically from A to Z, so it will be under COP, copy format. Currently, just like I showed you, there's nothing assigned to it. I can assign a new shortcut to it, so I have to click Control Shift C, so I can assign a shortcut to it. Immediately once I click assign, it is assigned there. That's the current keys for copy format. Then I can actually just close it and then say OK. Then for an example, I made these are, as you can see, different sizes and different colors. So for example, 1.5 red is actually bigger than this 1.5 white, and this 1.5 blue is actually a blue color. It's even smaller, so for example, this looks more appealing than this one because the sizes are different, and this one the sizes are different, and even the colors are different. So I'll just use the shortcut Control Shift C, which is copy format. So I'm copying the properties of this one. So basically what I'm saying is that I'm copying this information under your, what I did was I went to properties, and under properties I go to the tab display, and underneath the tab display I'm copying this information. So I'm basically copying all this information here and all this information here. So I'm copying everything that's here, which is a font size, color, your layer. I'm copying all that, and I'm copying all this for your cross section diameter, and I'm copying for color and number. So I'm copying all that information as a format. I'm copying it onto that guy, so he becomes the same as that one. So I can also do the same for that one. Control Shift V, and there you go. So you can actually copy for all the same connection definition points, so you can actually make them all the same color, same font size, same layer, so that's one of the shortcuts that can help you. If you don't have that shortcut, you'll have to select maybe that one that you want to do, come to edit, and also once you're in edit, then you can say assign format, copy format. So that can save you some time to just have those type of shortcuts. Yeah, you can also enjoy the one that I have on other EPLANs, which is my grid sizes. So I often like working on a grid size A and a grid size C, and for my grid size A, as you can see here as well, my grid size A is 1 millimeter and my grid size C is 4 millimeters. So I enjoy working with those grid sizes. So I can also assign shortcuts to those ones. For example, if you don't know where your grids are actually located, or where you can adjust your grid sizes for grid A, where you can do shortcuts for those and where you can assign those, you can actually just go to all commands, and once you're in all commands, you will just scroll until you find G, which is G for grid. And once you're in G, it will be GRID. So at the moment, as you can see, for grid, this is basically for switching on your grid and switching it off. Grid is basically those dots that you see there, switching it on and off. the current shortcut that's assigned by default during the installation by EPLAN, it's Control Shift F6. But as I'm literally trying it right now, Control Shift F6 with my left hand is quite a distance from Control Shift to the F6 key. So what I like doing is I like to just assign it as the key W. So I just assign it as the key W, assign, then I remove the one that was assigned originally by EPLAN. So to switch on my grid and switch it off, it's just the W key. And then for my grid size A, I don't necessarily have a shortcut for, I don't necessarily make shortcuts for grid B, grid D, grid E, you know, because I don't normally use those ones quite often. I use them usually when I do like a big scale, like a ground schematic, you know, showing all the panels in the whole plant, you know, showing how the panels are connected to each other from the transformer generator. You know, it's a big schematic. So, or maybe when I'm doing a network configuration schematic, it's quite big, you know, it's on an A0 or A1 page, you know, so it's quite big. So I need a bigger page, you know, so maybe I work with the grid size that's like 16 instead of 1 millimeter, you know, so then I use grid E or grid D, you know. But yeah, I don't normally use them that much. Maybe when I'm doing my 2D layout of the mounting plate or of the panel, then I usually activate grid D or grid E. But for my normal schematic layouts, I don't normally use those grid sizes. I just use A and C, you know. So for my grid size A, I'll just assign a shortcut, which the normal shortcut that I always assign to these ones for my EPLANs, it's a control, it's just a normal Control W. That one I normally assign to that, so I can assign that to it. And for my grid C, I normally just assign Q, Control Q. So basically Control W is for A, Control Q is for C. Then I just assign those ones immediately. Once you click assign, just like I say, they are assigned. Then you just click close and you can say close. So for instead of me coming to this area here, you can see it's showing that it's assigned. Grid in brackets, there's a W, but instead of me coming here every time, like I'm working on a schematic, I'm trying to see how's everything, and you see those dotted lines, they just blur in my eyes or something like that, and I don't want to see those dots from the grid. Instead of me just every time, you know, coming here, switching it on, switching it off, I can just click W from anywhere I am. You know, I'm here, I can click W from here, I can click W from here instead of coming here and just clicking there and there. And sometimes when I'm here, I'm like, this doesn't look good, let me see. When I have it on a bigger grid size, you know, I don't have to be coming here adjusting the grid sizes, so I can just click Control W, Control Q, Control W, Control Q, so shift between those two, you know. So yeah, another one that I like having as well is when I want to align my components with the grid. You know, sometimes maybe the components are shifted, maybe they're there, and for a grid size of A, that looks like it's in position, but with the grid size of Q, you can see that's not in position. So usually you have to come there and align it with on the grid. You can align it on the grid like that, and usually you can also assign a shortcut for that. For me, I like assigning it as Control Alt H, but yeah, you can choose any. You know, you can change. It's not recommended, but you can change it. Even Control Copy. For copy, you can say Control J. You know, maybe for paste, you can say Control M. Yeah, but it's not recommended. Because yeah, it's usually, we all know that Control C it's copy, Control V it's paste, you know. So I don't recommend you to change it, but yeah, you can do whatever you like on your EPLAN. If it works for you, then it works, you know. You can do whatever you like. Yeah, but just note that it can also confuse your colleagues. Maybe your colleague is trying to help you with something. It's like, let me see what's the problem. With this contact. Maybe you placed it wrong. Maybe the reference is incorrect. Let me try and help you. And there he goes. He's like trying to do a control C. And control C is not working, or maybe he's trying to do another command and it's not working. Then it's like, yeah, something is wrong with the shortcuts, and only to find out that you assigned them differently. So yeah, just be careful of how you assign your shortcuts, especially if you work with a lot of people. Shortcuts. Yeah, that's it for shortcuts. Shortcuts are very great in assisting you. Yeah, your design can be done in much quicker with shortcuts. Yeah, thanks very much for listening to me speaking about shortcuts.